Right there?
The day we arrived, I spotted a water tower, miles away. It looked like the one my big sister climbed when we were kids.
Right next to the two.
I liked when she did that.
There.
It's like she was an angel watching the town. And that's how I tried to make you feel.
Right.
Protected.
This film was really interesting. How it is really everything we see really serves the story. It's almost entirely narrated through voiceover, and it just makes this really compelling story to sort of sit back and absorb. You could arguably almost just even close your eyes and enjoy the film nearly as much as you would with your eyes open because it's really well written. But even without, not without, but the compliment that it's really well shot. The cinematography is fantastic. There's some great use of angles of contrasting distances to really make it feel dynamic and also help build up that tension. Just yeah, a great variety of shots, and yeah, overall, just a really interesting and compelling story.
The Appraiser. Great cinematography. And all of the actors did such an amazing job. I mean, the voiceover was done really, really well. But the story itself is kind of what hooks you in. I loved that creepy little vibe that it had to it. I thought that that was pretty ingenious. Speaking of ingenious, the other thing that I really liked was what the filmmakers did with the in-camera effects. Fantastic. When you don't have to do it in post and you can do something and sell it in camera, that was amazing. So yeah, I really, really liked this.
The Pricer. Okay, this was a very interesting film in many ways. First of all, the filmmaker made a great job at combining these genres. It's a love story with some drama and some thriller elements, and the combination works out great. I think that the voice of helped to create a very interesting atmosphere, and that the location was very beautiful to watch because I like the location. Um, it helped to create this atmosphere for these characters in which they just the two of them together. They are alone. There's no one else, and that's a very interesting way to set a story. Especially because the story is makes a very strong focus on the way these two men are troubled by some experiences from the past. I think that the idea of the film is to explore how sometimes the past changes, keeps affecting us in the present, and at some point changes the way we act and drive us to commit violent impulses. It was a very interesting way to explore this idea, and the final twist is kind of surprising. It was surprising. I think that the performances were very convincing too, and yes, I think it was a very solid piece of film. Thanks for saying it.
The appraiser, when you are getting something appraised, you are finding something of value, what matters to you. And I think that's what is being navigated during the story. We find this relationship, these two individuals are madly in love, and there is something that is haunting, building within this film and this relationship. And I think it's has a very poetic ending that doesn't necessarily is not the happy ending that people would originally hope and yearn for. It's sort of an unsettling and quite saddening ending that both characters, face here. On one end of the spectrum, you know, demons have taken over their persona and their entity and who they are, versus someone having a loss of relationship and loss of these memories and this something, something of value being taken away from you, essentially. And, having this sense of notion of, I'd love to come back to you, but in a sense, if I do, I know I'd be falling into the darkness as well. And is there a love that is worth doing that? And I think that is done in a striking, hauntingly thrilling manner here.